Salam everyone. Acha ji, so this video tutorial is on trigonometry. So let's begin with it. Acha, so if you have a right angle triangle, so a right angle triangle is a triangle in which we have 90 degree and the side opposite to the 90 degree is known as the hypotenuse. The side opposite to the given angle is the opposite side and the other side is known as the adjacent side. So sine theta is a ratio of opposite over hypotenuse, therefore A over C. Cos theta is a ratio of the adjacent over the hypotenuse, B over C. And tan theta is a ratio of the opposite over adjacent, A over C. Acha ji, so if you are asked to evaluate sine of 0 degree, sine of 0 is 0, cos of 0 is 1, tan of 0 is also 0. ठीक है, you can plug it in the calculator and get the values. Similarly 90 degree की बात करते हैं, sine of 90 is 1, cos of 90 is 0 and tan of 90 is undefined. This would make more sense if we look at the graphs, जो कि मैं next video में बताऊंगा. Now sine of 30 degree also you can find from your calculator, but let's say if you want to figure out the exact ratio. So sine 30 degree, what you do is for angles 30, 60 and 45, this is what you can do. In order to find the ratios for 30 degree and 60 degree, you can form an equilateral triangle of side 2 by 2 by 2. Alright, an equilateral triangle is a triangle in which all the sides are equal and the angle is 60 degree. If you bisect the equilateral triangle from half, this angle would be 30. Now since you have bisected this length, this would be 1, this would be 1, and consider this right angle triangle. If this is your hypotenuse, this is your adjacent, using Pythagoras theorem, the opposite length would be square root 3. Alright, so sine of 30 degree, if you are considering this angle 30, sine theta is a ratio of opposite over hypotenuse, therefore 1 over 2. Cos 30 degree is a ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse, therefore root 3 over 2. And tan 30 similarly would be 1 over root 3. Now let's come to 60 degree. Sine of 60, if you are considering with reference to this angle, this length is your opposite, this is your adjacent, and this is the same hypotenuse. So sine of 60 degree is root 3 over 2, cos of 60 degree is 1 over 2, tan of 60 degree is root 3 over 1, which is root 3. Similarly for 45, you can draw a right angle triangle having this angle as 45, this angle is 45 and this angle is 90 with a length of 1 and 1. So using Pythagoras theorem, this would be root 2. So sine of 45 is 1 over root 2. Cos of 45 is also 1 over root 2. And tan of 45 is 1. You can confirm these values from the calculator as well. Okay, so your plane is divided into 4 quadrants. The first quadrant is from 0 to 90, the other quadrant is from 90 to 180, then the third quadrant is from 180 to 270, and then from 270 to 360. Now all angles are measured from the positive axis. So if my line, let's say I draw a line, this line. Okay, so if as I'm increasing the angle less than 90 is the acute angle. This angle would be obtuse. In the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant, it would be a reflex angle greater than 180. So if an angle is between 180 and 270, it's lying in the third quadrant. If the angle is between 270 and 360, it's lying in the fourth quadrant. Now anti-clockwise angles are positive. So all these angles, if you are taking an anti-clockwise angle, all these angles are positive, and clockwise angles are negative. If you are moving clockwise, the angles would be negative. The basic angle alpha, as I have marked over here, is the smallest angle made with the horizontal axis. So let's say if my triangle is in the first quadrant, my alpha is this. Let's say if it's in the second quadrant, meaning if the angle is obtuse, the triangle would be formed in the second quadrant, so basic angle तो alpha ही रहेगा ना, ठीक है. If it's in the third quadrant, I know it's an angle that is greater than 180, but basic angle वही है, ठीक है. Similarly, if my angle is in the fourth quadrant, the basic angle is alpha. The basic angle does not bear any sign, it's always positive. And just to revise, just to recall, I'll explain in the next slide as well. But we have three trigonometric ratios: sine theta, cos theta, and tan theta. So in the first quadrant, all ratios are positive. In the second quadrant, only sine is positive. In the third quadrant, the ratio of tan is positive, tan theta is positive, but sine theta and cos theta would be negative. And in the fourth, cos theta is positive. So you can remember like ASTC, all sine, tan, cos. So consider a right angle triangle again with this length, this angle is theta, this is 90. Therefore this angle would be 90 minus theta. Like if you want to evaluate what this angle is, you can add this 90 and theta and subtract it from 180 to get the other angle, which will be 90 minus theta. So if I am evaluating sine theta, this is A over C. If I am evaluating cos theta, would be B over C. Tan theta would be A upon B. But if this would have been my angle, which is 90 minus theta, 90 minus sine of 90 minus theta, meaning sine theta with reference to this angle, would be B over C. Cos 90 minus theta would be A over C. And tan 90 minus theta, tan of 90 minus theta would be B over A. And if you just compare it, sine theta की value A over C थी and cos 90 minus theta की value A over C, which means sine theta is same as saying cos 90 minus theta, and sine 90 minus theta has the same value as cos theta, B over C. So this becomes your identity, that sine 90 minus theta is equal to cos theta, cos 90 minus theta is sine theta. And if you look at the ratio of tan theta and tan 90 minus theta, they are just the reciprocal of each other. Therefore you can say that tan 90 minus theta is same as saying 1 over tan theta. This would be making more sense if you can take some values. So for example, theta is 30 degree. So sine 90 minus 30 is equal to cos 30. If you sine 90 minus 30 is sine 60 equals to cos 30. So sine 60 is root 3 over 2 and cos 30 is also root 3 over 2. Similarly, if theta is same 30 degree and you want to evaluate this, cos 90 minus 30 is 60 and sine 30. So cos 60 is half and sine 90 is half. And for this, tan 90 minus 30, tan 90 minus 30 would be tan 60 and 1 upon tan 30. So tan 60 is root 3 and 1 upon tan 30 is 1 over root 3, which is also root 3. Okay, now let's have a discussion about the general angles. Achha, so if I say that I have a triangle being formed in the first quadrant, meaning let's say theta is positive, so my triangle would be formed in the first quadrant, and let's say the ratios are 3 and 4, ठीक है. So अगर first quadrant में बन रहा है आपका triangle, ठीक है, so the ratios are, if you know that the sine theta is 3 over 5, so this length would be opposite, this length is your adjacent, this was your value of theta, and this is your hypotenuse. So sine theta is 3 over 5, cos theta is 4 over 5 and tan theta is 3 over 4. Now if your angle would have been in an obtuse angle, तो आपका जो triangle है वो यहाँ बनता. This, so I'm considering positive angles. So if you're increasing your angle, if it is greater than 90 degree, hence obtuse angle, so this is the value of theta. This is your angle, ठीक है. Now since it's the same triangle, let's say ये जो value है, this is same theta, If you know that this length is theta, then this angle would be 180 minus theta. Now if your triangle is being formed in the second quadrant, the vertical component is 3, the horizontal component is minus 4, and if you use the Pythagoras theorem, you will still get 5. So this time our angle is 180 minus theta. So if you are evaluating sine of 180 minus theta, this would be 3 over 5. Cos of 180 minus theta would be minus 4 over 5, and tan of 180 minus theta would be minus 3 over minus 3 over minus 4. ठीक है. So similarly, अगर आपके पास एंगल होता that is greater than even 180, so it's in the third quadrant. So let's say ratios are, this time the vertical component would be minus 3 and minus 4, and using Pythagoras theorem you will still get 5. So sine of 180 plus theta, because this time your angle is greater than 180, hence the angle is 180 plus theta. So sine of 180 plus theta would be minus 3 over 5, cos of 180 plus theta would be minus 4 over 5, and tan of 180 plus theta would be minus 3 over minus 4, which is 3 over 4. And if you extend the same working for the fourth quadrant, any angle that is greater than 2, so this time your angle is greater than 270, so it's lying between 270 and 360. If let's say I want to have the same angle theta, ठीक है, तो the entire angle यहाँ से यहाँ तक, just a second, the entire angle from here to here would be 360 minus theta. If this angle is theta, then the leftover angle would be 360 minus theta. So let's evaluate the ratio of sine 360 minus theta. Sine 360 minus theta would be minus 3 over 5, cos 360 minus theta would be 4 over 5, and tan 360 minus theta would be minus 3 over 4. Acha. Now in the previous slide we discussed that I mentioned this, that in the first quadrant all ratios are positive, and you can see over here. In the second quadrant only sine is positive. In the third quadrant only tan is positive, and in the fourth quadrant only cos is positive. So just to summarize this, I can say that sine 180 minus theta is also equal to sine theta. Cos of 180 minus theta is equal to minus cos theta, because its key value minus 4 over 5 थी, whereas cos theta was 4 over 5. And tan of 180 minus theta is equal to minus tan theta. For this, I can say sine of 180 plus theta is equal to minus sine theta, cos of 180 plus theta is minus cos theta, and tan of 180 plus theta is same as positive tan theta. And sine of 360 minus theta is equal to minus sine theta, cos of 360 minus theta is equal to positive cos theta, and tan of 360 minus theta is equal to minus tan theta. Having said that, let's look at some other identities as well. So let's say my theta is a cube. Let's say this is my theta. What will happen if I add 360 to it? If in this value I add 360, I get the same trigonometric ratio. So sine of 360 plus theta is equal to sine theta, and therefore cos of 360 plus theta is also equal to cos theta, and tan of 360 plus theta is also equal to tan theta. So adding 360 or subtracting 360 has the same trigonometric ratio. Now negative angles. Let's say you have a negative angle minus theta. Negative angle means angle clockwise, so this is minus theta. So cos of minus theta is same as cos theta, because if it's in the fourth quadrant, so cos of a negative angle is equal to cos theta. Sine of minus theta is equals to minus sine theta, and we know that in this quadrant sine theta is negative, and tan of minus theta would be minus tan theta. Achha ji. So let's look at this question. You have been given that sine 20 degree is equal to k, and you are being asked to express the following in terms of k, which is in number 1 sine 200 degree. So you need to represent sine 200 degree in terms of k. Okay, so how do you approach such kind of question? Sine 20 degree is equal to k upon 1. So if you draw a right angle triangle in which you have an angle of 20, the sine theta ratio is opposite over hypotenuse. So the adjacent side would be 1 square 1 minus k square square root. So sine 200 degree means that the angle is in the third quadrant. This is angle 200, and you know that this angle is 180, so this angle would be 20 degree. So one thing is clear, that sine 200 means that your right angle triangle would be formed in the third quadrant, having the basic angle of 20. ठीक है, तो sin 20 would be same as would be negative of sin 20. Okay, sin 200 would be negative of sin 20. ठीक है, and sin 20 is k, therefore sin 200 is minus k. In the second part, you are being asked to evaluate cos 20. So your angle is in the first quadrant, 20 degree, where your this value is 1. Sorry, this value is k, this value is 1 minus k square, and this value is 1. So cos 20 degree is right in front of you. Cos theta is the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse. So square root 1 minus k square over 1, which is square root 1 minus k square. Tan of a negative angle is same as negative tan theta. So नेगेटिव एंगल है, इससे ये तो पता चल रहा है आपको कि ये यहाँ बन रहा है, दैट्स योर minus 20 degree, which means that the right angle triangle is being formed in the fourth quadrant. The ratio, ठीक है, okay. So if you know that sin 20 is k, you can also evaluate tan of 20 degree. Tan of 20 degree would be opposite over adjacent. So k over square root 1 minus k square. ठीक है, so tan of minus theta minus 20 degree would be same as minus tan of 20 degree, which is minus k upon square root 1 minus k square. That's the ratio. In the fourth part, you are being asked sin 70. So you see, if you have a right angle triangle and this is 90 degree and this is 20 degree, this angle comes out to be 70 degree. So sin 20 was equals to k, so which we just discussed, that it's k over 1, और यहाँ पे the adjacent came out to be 1 minus k square. So considering this angle 70, sine of 70 would be opposite over hypotenuse, square root 1 minus k square upon 1. Another way to look at it was, do you remember this? Cos 90 minus theta is equal to sin theta, or sin 90 minus theta was equal to cos theta. So if you have sin 70, ठीक है, your theta is 20, right? So if you place theta as 20, sin 90 minus 20 is equals to cos 20. ठीक है, so sin 70 has the same value as cos 20, and cos 20 value was square root 1 minus k square. अच्छा जी, so let's finally move on solving trigonometric equations. You have been given sin theta equals to 0.5, and you are being asked to find the values of theta, all the values of theta from 0 to 360 degree. So we know this is 0, this is 90, this is 180, and this is 270, and one complete rotation will be 360 degree. Sin theta has a ratio of 0.5. So in order to find the value of theta, you will take sine inverse of 0.5, and sine inverse of 0.5 would give you the basic angle. ठीक है, so the basic angle would be sine inverse of 0.5. So you can also use your calculator, or by now you must know that sine inverse of 0.5 is 30 degree. This means that the basic angle is 30 degree. Okay, and your sine theta is positive. Sine theta is positive, so sine theta is positive in the first and in the second quadrant. So either this would be the situation or this would be the situation. Now, so one of the angle would be this, and the one of the other angle would be this value. So if it's in the first quadrant, your theta is 30 degree. And if it's in the second quadrant and you know that the value of alpha is 30 degree, the other angle would be 180 minus 30 degree, which is 150 degree. So similarly, sine theta, if the ratio was negative, we know that sine theta is negative in the third and the fourth quadrant. If I want to find this basic angle, so I'll take sine inverse of just 0.5. So sine inverse of 0.5 would come out to be 30 degree, meaning I know that this angle is 30, this angle is 30. But the value of theta would be, one of the angle is this and the other angle is this. So the first angle is this, which is 180 plus alpha. So theta is 180 plus alpha. So 180 plus 30, 210 degree. The second value of theta would be 360, since it's in the fourth quadrant, 360 minus alpha. So 360 minus 30, 330 degree. Okay. Achha, let's say if we have cos theta. So सबसे पहले वही find the basic angle. Cos inverse of 0.5 is 60 degree. So now ask yourself this question: where is cos theta ratio positive? It's positive in the first and the fourth quadrant. So these are your alpha angles, which is 60 degree. Now in order to find the angle, which is theta, one of the angle is this and the other angle is this. So theta is either 60 degree, or if it's in the fourth quadrant as well, so 360 minus 60, 300 degree. If cos theta would have been negative, cos theta is negative in the second and third quadrant. If you find the basic angle, you will still get the same, which is 60 degree. So these are 60 degree. So the first angle is this, and this angle is 180 minus 60, which is 120 degree, and the third angle in the third quadrant would be 180 plus alpha, which is 180 plus 60, 240 degree. And similarly, if you want to evaluate through tan theta ratio, सबसे पहले what you will do is you will find the basic angle, tan inverse of root 3. ठीक है, so tan inverse of root 3 comes out to be 60 degree. So tan inverse of root 3 is 60 degree. अच्छा जी, now ask yourself, where is tan theta ratio positive? It's tan theta is positive in the first and the third quadrant. So these angles become your alpha. Now the theta will be this angle and this angle. So one of the value of theta is 60 degree. The other value would be 180 plus 60, which is 240 degree. Similarly, if tan theta was negative, tan theta is negative in the tan theta is negative in the second and the fourth quadrant. Same logic, these are your basic angle, this value would be your value of theta and the other value of theta would be this. Find the basic angle. So in order to find the basic angle, you take tan inverse of positive root 3. Alpha is a positive acute angle from the x-axis, it bears no sign. So tan inverse of root 3 would be 60 degree again, this is 60 and this is 60. So your values of theta would be, since your triangle is being formed in the second quadrant, it would be 180 minus 60 and if it is in, it's also formed in the fourth quadrant, which will be 360 minus 60, which is 300 degrees. Acha ji, so how to solve trigonometric equation with different ranges, meaning ranges other than 0 to 360. So in this case we have a theta range from minus 360 to 0 degree. The ratio of tan theta is positive root 3, right? So tan theta is equal to positive root 3. So what is your tan theta is positive, and you know that tan theta is positive is in the first and the third quadrant, which means that these are your basic angles. In order to find alpha, you will take tan inverse of positive root 3, which will be 60 degrees. So meaning this is 60 and this is 60. Okay. Now we have to give negative angles because the range is minus 360 to 0. So in order to find negative angles, you move clockwise. So one angle would be this and the other angle would be this one. So in order to find this angle, what you can do is theta 1 would be minus 180, because this is 0, this is minus 90, minus 180, minus 270 and minus 360. So minus 180 plus alpha, minus 180 plus 60 degree, minus 120 degree, and the other angle would be minus 360 plus alpha, which is minus 360 plus 60, minus 300 degree. So these are the two angles. Let's say if you have this question जिसमें cos theta is negative and the range is from minus 180 to 180. So let's first of all mark where your cos theta is negative. So cos theta is negative in the second and in the third quadrant, meaning these angle would be your basic angle. So so you want to find angles from minus 180 to 180. So this is 0, this is minus 90, this is minus 180, this is minus 270 and minus 360 if you are going in clockwise direction for the negative angles. First angle is this and the other angle would have been this, but the issue is that theta cannot be greater than minus 180, तो आप ये वाला एंगल नहीं शामिल करोगे. So one of the negative angle would be minus 180 plus alpha. अच्छा जी. So same procedure. सबसे पहले let's find the value of alpha, which is the basic angle, which would be cos inverse of 1 over 2, and cos inverse of 1 over 2 is simply what? It's 60 degree. So our basic angle is 60 degree. Minus 180 plus 60 is minus 120 degree. So one of the negative angle is this, and there is only one negative angle between this range. Now let's look at the positive angle. Positive angle के लिए we have to move in the clockwise direction. This is one of the positive angle and this is the other positive angle, but we cannot exceed 180. Therefore the only answer is this. So if we were going in a clockwise direction, this angle is 0, this would have been 90 degree, 180 degree and so on. So basic angle 60 is, how would you get this angle? 180 minus 60, okay, so 20 degree. Therefore your values of theta are plus minus 120 degree. So let's solve trig equation with multiple angles. This time we have multiple angles instead of theta. अच्छा, तो multiple angles कैसे है ये? You have 2 theta instead of theta, right? So if सबसे पहला step would be to alter your range. If theta is from 0 to 360, so 2 theta would be from 0 to 720. Okay. Now for your simplicity, you can call this 2 theta as an angle A. So we will say that A is from 0 to 720. That is a new range for your angle. Then this means that sine A is root 3 upon 2. ठीक है. Sine A is root 3 over 2. Now we'll follow the same steps. Sine A का ratio is positive. So where can your angle A lie? angle A can be in the first quadrant or in the second quadrant such that the sine of A is a positive value, and these are your basic angles. So if you can find basic angle by taking sine inverse of root 3 over 2, which is 60 degree. ठीक है, so the basic angle is 60 degree दोनों साइड यहाँ पे. तो your value of theta is this and this. So the first angle for A would be 60 degree. The other angle would be 180 minus 60 degree, which is 120 degree. But these are only two angles from 0 to 360, and now we know that our domain of A is from 0 to 720, so we need other angles as well. So what you'll do is you'll add 360 in both the angles. So 60 plus 360, 420 degree, and 120 plus 360 degree, 480 degree. Now you can't add further because adding further 360 would make you cross this range. So these are the angles for A. So the value of 2 theta is equals to 60, 120, 420 and 480. Therefore the values of theta would be 30, 60 degree, 210 and 240 degree. These are the values of theta, and these are the solutions of this trig equation. In the second question, you have tan theta over 2 equals to negative root 3 over 3. Now the angle of our concern is theta over 2. So you will alter your range. Theta over 2 will have angle from minus 90 to 360. This becomes your new range. Now you can call this as A if you want. Tan of A degrees is negative root 3 over 3. Now A is lying in the quadrant in which your tan theta would be negative. So tan of A is negative, so either it can be in the second or in the fourth quadrant. Let's find the basic angle, and if you do tan inverse of positive root 3 over 3, the basic angle would be 30 degree. So yeah, so the value of alpha is 30 degree, and our angles now are this and this. But see, our range is from minus 90, so we are also looking for negative angle, and for negative angle you have to move in the clockwise direction, right? So the first angle would be minus 30. So the value of A, the first value of A would be minus 30 degree. And if we go further negative, this would cross our limit, okay, that is up to minus 90. Therefore now let's look at the positive angles. So the first positive angle would be 180 minus 30, which is 150 degree, and the second positive angle would be 360 minus 30, which is 330 degree. So these are the values of A, but we were asked to find the values of theta, and A is equal to theta over 2. So the values of theta would be minus 60 degree, 300 degree and 660 degree. These are the values of theta. Okay, so this time our angle is 4 theta. So I can alter my range. 4 theta over 3 would be now from minus 360 to 120 degree. ये आपकी range alter हो गई. Now the same step, cos A is root 2 over 2. So cos A angle is such that its cos is a positive value. So cos is positive in the first and the fourth quadrant. Let's find the alpha, which is the basic angle, which you will find by taking cos inverse of root 2 over 2, which is 45 degrees. Now our range is from minus 360 to 120. So it also includes negative angle. So let's deal with the negative angles first. Pehla negative angle is this, which is the value of a first negative angle of A is minus 45. Okay, the next negative angle is this, which is minus 360 plus 45, which is minus 315. So I think these are the only two angles from 0 to minus 360. Now let's look at the positive angles. The first positive angle is 45 degrees. The next angle positive would be 360 minus 45, but this is beyond our range, so we will leave that out. So these are the only three angles that are coming in our range. Okay, now these are the values of 4a. Alright, so it was 4 theta. Okay, just make a correction over 4 theta over 3. 4 theta over 3 is equivalent to these three angles. So theta would be 33.75 from these value minus 33.75, and from 315 you will get 315 times 3 divided by 4, that is 236.25, negative 236.25. So now let's have a discussion about solving a quadratic equation that factorizes. Okay, now it's more like a disguised quadratic. So you have a sort of a quadratic equation. Okay, it's not exactly quadratic, but it can be said disguised quadratic. So if you say y is equals to 10x, if you substitute y for 10x, the equation that you will get is 2y squared minus y equals to 6, which when you rearrange, okay, and now you can see it's a quadratic equation, and when you will solve it for the two values of y, you can either use quadratic formula or you can factorize it, up to you. So the two values come out to be minus 3 over 2 and 2. Okay, but y was actually 10x, and over here as well 10x equals to 2. Now we will be solving this trig equation, and we'll be solving this trig equation. So let's solve this first. 10x is equal to negative root 3 over 2. Do we need to alter the range? No, because the angle is x. We know that tan theta is negative in the second and the fourth quadrant. So let's find the basic angles. Basic angle would be tan inverse of positive 3 over 2. So the basic angle of positive tan inverse of 3 over 2 is 56.3. Okay, so when you take tan inverse, you get 56.31 for this. Now the angle, since our range also include negative angles. Okay, so first of all let's find angles from 0 to minus 180. For negative angles you need to move clockwise. First negative angle is this, which was minus 56. So x, the first negative angle is minus 56.31. Now you won't expect to have another negative angle because this crosses your range of minus 180. Alright, so you can't have a lesser negative number than minus 180. So let's go for positive angles. The first positive angle is this, which is 180 minus 56.31. So 180 subtracted 56.31, you get 123.69. And the another positive angle is this, but since we are restricted to 180, we will not be taking this negative angle. So these are the two angles from this equation. Now from 10x equals to 2, tan theta has a positive value, so the positive tan theta has a positive ratio, so either it can be in this quadrant or this quadrant. Let's find the basic angle, which is tan inverse of 2, hence you get 63.43. Now again the negative angles. The only negative angles that you can come up with is this angle, which is minus 180 plus 63.43 minus 116.57. The other angle, negative angle, you won't be taking. So now this is the first positive angle, which is 63.43, and you won't be taking this positive angle because it crosses 180. Okay, so the four answers, if I want to write the four answers correct to one decimal place, they are minus 116.6, minus 56.3, positive 63.4, and positive 123.69. Alright, thank you for watching this video.